We will never know how hard it is to get through life on a daily basis. There's always something going on, and there's always something a little bit nuttier than our story. What is it? I don't know. Why is it? I don't know. How is it? I don't know. We take these things that we cannot control and we make them priorities in our life. And when we take something we can't control and make it a priority, that means we're wishful thinking. This is the Black News Network, BNN 247. I am Brother War J. Smith-Bey, broadcasting live from the Black News Network. We do not own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. The topic today is what's driving Black men insane. And, last week, the last couple of weeks, we talked about gun control in the Black community. We talked about mentality, and none of this stuff really works for us, but it does if we paid attention to it. There is so much going on in America today, especially with the upcoming election. And that upcoming election has a bearing on what we think about it. I see tons and tons of Black people going on social media trying to say they represent Donald Trump. But you got to be the biggest coon. You bigger coon than Clarence Thomas. If you really think this racist ass white man will do something for you, because I'm here to tell you that that is not the facts. All you got to do is look at all the contractors, the marginal contractors, the poor folk that are contractors that have worked for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump have found ways not to pay these contractors. And in many cases, he did not pay them. And when they don't pay these contractors, their families don't eat. So naturally, it's going to piss some people off and it's going to drive some people crazy. Why do you think they're trying to assassinate a wannabe president? They try and assassinate this president or this wannabe president because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired of the shit he keeps saying. And he's talking about sending people back across the border, and you got no idea how you would get that done. You're talking about nasty Kamala. I mean, you got the same MO as you had back in 2020 when you were running for president. You and your shit don't change. People ought to know by now what type of individual you are. And for you to not tell the truth about who you are and keep making people think that you are doing this for the people. And I don't even think the people think you're doing it for them. They don't, I mean, as the rhetoric you put out there indicates that they're not doing what they do for the people, the Republican Party. They indicate that they're doing what they are doing for the top tier, the top 10% of America. And I mean, I don't feel like I'm stupid, so I don't see why I would be delusional and think that either Trump or Harris would benefit me. I'm not concerned about that level of politics, because that level of politics really is not affected by what I think or what I don't think. The only way I can affect that level of politics is through my local election. There's no way your vote is going to affect that man or that woman on the top level up there. What it will affect, though, is that lady, those senators, those House of Representatives, those state representatives, the governor, the district attorney, all those people that get elected in your city. That's what your vote affects. And those people are on your agenda right now. They're on your ballot. That's where you need to focus. But see, the media with their lying ass, I'm so sick and tired. CNN so full of shit. They are full of shit. They come out with the same bullshit. And they'll hear one of these Trump supporters say, well, President Trump didn't say this. President Trump didn't say he wanted his generals to be like Hitler. They'll say this, and then you'll on another network, you'll hear the audio where he did say it. And you still sit there and act like, well, I didn't hear it. I don't believe he said it. But it's a game. When you see great white men set up on national television and tell a bald-faced, two-faced, broke back, sorry ass lie. And that's what they do. They go on national television and they argue the points of fact that have been established about both candidates. And then they tell a lie. And that lie seems to perpetuate itself into the Black community. And somehow we fall for the damn okie doke, man. We fall for it. And I don't even know what to say about some of the rhetoric I see us out there. And this is the kind of shit that would drive me insane, because it is not real for a black man who know his ancestors were did the way they were done. And then how Donald Trump would not allow Black people to live in his apartments. And how Donald Trump tried to prosecute 5 innocent kids, 3 of them Black. These things. He paid off Stormy Daniels. He got convicted of 34 counts. He tried to manipulate the voting in Georgia by saying all I need is 11,000 votes, some bullshit like that. It has been the worst corruption in a country, and I don't want to make it sound like I don't know many countries that I can say about, but what I'm going to say sounds like I've been all over the world, which I have. I can't believe this man is saying the things he's saying, and we're acting like he ain't did nothing. But the average Joe, why is it that his laws are different from our laws? That's what's driving me insane. That America has this standard where there is a tier of prosecution or execution or judicial systems set up for your social status, whether you got that kind of money. And if you Black and you got money and you made yourself famous, your best bet is to keep your head down, because the moment you raise your head up, they're going to do you like they did Bill Cosby, like they did Colin Kaepernick, like they did the latest one, R. Kelly, and finally, like they're doing P. Diddy. Now, what's different than what P. Diddy did and Hugh Hefner. What? Hugh Hefner got class and P. Diddy don't? Something's wrong with our country, and we know it, but we cannot do anything about it. But that's a lie. We can. All we have to do, my brothers and sisters, we just have to act accordingly. We got to find the network that's moving in the direction we want it to move in, but it has to be moving. There are so many, there are thousands of Black organizations, and every time you see them, they're acting like buffoons. They're clowning. They're doing some dumb shit. Like, we the best steppers out here. We dress the best. We got the best this or the best that. Fucking niggas out there with costumes on, acting like they all this, and a bag of chips. You know, I mean, you guys are doing what you do. You go to your sorority, you do your thing, or your fraternity, and you do your thing. But you've been doing this shit for 100 years right now, and your shit don't amount to shit. You don't amount to shit, because if you did amount to something, then you would be sitting in one of these fucking high-rise buildings with all of your stuff and all of your people working towards one goal. But it seems as though the people at the top of your organization know exactly what they're doing, because you bring a member in for $100, 75 of those dollars going all the way to the top. So imagine every organization like yours, of course, across the country, doing a particular thing, whatever that thing may be. You're bringing in a recruit, and that recruit pays his initiation fee, and 80% of that money goes all the way up to the grand or to the national office. And when that money goes up there, that leaves you with $25 to keep doing what you're doing. And that's what they tell you: keep doing what you're doing. And then here comes the conference that they want you to attend. And if you don't attend, they want to slap you on the wrist. So you go and buy $175, $200 a night hotel. You go and rent a car. You go and fly halfway across the country or across the world to attend this event. And while you're sitting in that event, you ain't nothing but a number. They're going to take up collection, just like the church. They're going to take up a collection. And that collection is going to go straight to the top, and they're going to put it in their bank account, so that whoever's in charge of that organization can live in luxury. For instance, the person in charge of the whole conference is one of the members of the people in the conference. And that person is living high on the hog throughout that entire conference. In other words, when he gets to his room, he's taking limo service from the airport. He's got ballet service when he gets to the hotel. They take his bags up there, put the bags where they want, and he goes into his room. And in his room, he's got every kind of liquor you can think of, all kind of food already prepared that he can eat. And this is every day they bring this food in there. And they do it that way to make them as comfortable as possible. So next year, can you bring your folks back to our hotel, our conference center, so we can have the event here, and we'll cut you some deals? What's the difference in that? And when the city of San Antonio wants to incite the Tesla company or corporation to move an element to San Antonio, what is that about? They're going to give that Tesla organization incentives. They're not going to have to pay taxes. for the first 10 years. Whatever incentives a company gets, that is what drives them to move to a community. And if San Antonio ain't willing to put out all the beans and whistles to get them here, to attract them to set up camp here, then they can go somewhere else. For instance, the Tesla plant that you see if you take the toll road 130 around Austin, around the I think it's the west side of Austin, and you get to see the Tesla plant there, which seems like that building is about a mile long. But in order for them to put that Tesla plant there, the city of Austin had to give them particular incentives. And those incentives can include taxes. Those incentives could include bonuses. It could include roads being built, city property being donated to them to build this facility. It could be so many different things. And so when we sit back as Black folk and we don't really know that all this stuff is going on behind the scenes, it puts us in a situation where we're saying, damn, man, what the F is going on? And in order for us to find out, we have to look at CNN, NBC, all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you, they are not telling you the truth. The only way you're going to get the truth is to go out and start digging for the resources of whatever topic you may have, because it is not going to be reflected. It's not. And because it's not going to be reflected, you're not going to know this information until it's too late. And when it's too late, then ain't nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Even Donald Trump said he wanted to turn the National Guard against American citizens. Why? You ever thought of why he would do such a thing to our people? Why he would let the National Guard move into our communities? Yes, that's what he meant. He meant that. And all he got to do is call martial law. And once he say it's martial law on this continent, that means everybody getting locked down. So if you're not going insane right now with the bullshit going on in this country since this man stepped into the White House, I mean, it's been chaos, nothing but chaos. And it's driving many of us insane. You can imagine how many people killed themselves already because of what this fellow has done. And this fellow has made it so difficult for us to just be normal citizens, pursuing our money, getting where we need to go. He's the reason we cannot go and just make the money we need to make, because he opened up the doors of racism. Then we go to a job that we used to go walk in and they would pay us good damn money. They don't even want to hire us now because we have been painted into a corner. And what happens when you paint a badger into a corner? A badger comes out fighting. So our objective now is to figure out a way to come out fighting. If we don't learn how to fight, we're not going to make it. And if we keep trying to fight these individual battles, we're not going to make it. These individual battles are not going to break anything down. The only way you break something down in America is through collaboration. You got to collaborate with one another, brothers and sisters. And many of us are going insane because the resources that we need are not available. But they're there, but they're not available. That's a big difference. When they're not available, that means that, oh, the resources are here, but you can't get them, brother Smith-Bey, because you don't qualify to get these benefits or to get this freebie. And then you hear a lot of brothers coming over here talking about the USC 1701-5-286. gives you the authority to go and get a car with no money down. I don't know how factual that is, but I know I hear it, and I know people claim that that's what they do. But no matter what you do, you must have the respect of the people that you want to serve. And if you got the respect of the people that you intend to serve, then your profitability or your profit margins should be pretty decent. We are being driven insane by not having access to what we deserve to have access to. How many generations do we need to struggle? These white folks have had their damn foot on our necks since Moby Dick was a minnow. And that's a long damn time ago. And because it's like that, it creates animosity amongst ourselves. We don't like who we are because we cannot get out of this rut. And we can't get out of this rut because they do not let us emerge from this rut. Somehow we got to do better. Somehow we got to do things a lot different in order to get where we need to go. But if we don't make some changes soon, America, and those changes are they're so minute, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It is so minute. Now, if you look in my background, you see red, black, and green, right? That red, black, and green represents us. And that's what you will always see in the top. Let's see, this is my right, this is my left. In the corner that covers the Panther's head, I couldn't tell you left from right now. You see a flag, and that flag holds the truth of who you are. And you think you know who you are. The 14th Amendment has been rescinded so many times, and it's been deactivated. But you never hear government talking about the 14th Amendment. They're always talking about these other amendments surrounding that. For us to go insane is, I don't know if it's our destiny, but through the frustrated issues in life, I don't know what it could be. I think it's people versus people. People create problems for people. And that's where the problem is. And they act like they don't give a damn about it. They just allow it to go through. And that's it. That is it. It's so sad. I, as a citizen of the United States of America, demand to see the books. You don't want to show me the books? Show me everything else then. Show me what you can show me. And if it ain't enough, it's my responsibility to tell you. Unfortunately, we are losing our minds trying to wrap our head around what Donald Trump is trying to do to us. And then you got all these black Trump supporters outside looking stupid. It's pretty sad. With that, this is the Black News Network, the real voice of Black USA, bringing you the news from a Black perspective. I need to know or email the counter and let them know that you want to come to the election or to the football game. And you can get a free football game, but you have to call the Boy Scout leader, the general manager. And many of you know Brian Miller. If you get with him, he should be able to get you the things you need. He got me the shoulder patch to keep me from hurting. I went to the airport, and where was I? Houston, one of them, Houston or Dallas or something like that. Houston, Dallas, or Washington D.C. And it just seems so disorganized. You know, TSA telling you to take the shoes off, somebody else telling you to put them back on. Take your shoes off, put them back on, and they go through there. So I finally made it. The Black News Network is a broadcasting agenda, has a broadcasting agenda, and it broadcasts every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and again on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. If you have any questions or any suggestions, drop them in the inbox, and I will review those messages and respond to you. With that, this is the Black News Network, and I want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today. And we